So ano ba ang economic sabotage? Kasi it does sound ambitious. At napansin ko kasi nakaka-score ng puntos ang ating Pangulo by raising this issue of flood control. Tama naman, kailangan nire-raise ang issue na ito. Pero parang pinalalabas na suddenly the President is so proactive. The President is doing the right thing. Siguro nga, it is the right thing. But let us not say na wala siyang liability o exempt siya doon sa pagpapabaya kung bakit umabot sa ganitong punto ang malalaking mga proyekto that has been draining the country of resources na hindi wala naman palang infrastructure or substandard or kokonti ang infrastructure na naipapatayo. So the President is thinking, okay, legal yung iniisip niyang solusyon. Baka mag-file daw ng economic sabotage, which brings to mind, teka muna, under our law, ano po ba ang economic sabotage? Sa araw nito, may silang naman siguro tayo ngayon, but we're here. Ando na. Ulitin natin yun, ha? Bago tayo magpatuloy, wag po natin kakalimutan, like, share, follow, and subscribe. Para dun sa mga nanonood, lalong-lalo na sa Facebook, tayo po ay throttled na naman sa Facebook namin, lalong-lalo na sa aming Facebook page. So ang request ko lang po is for those who are on other platforms, pakipuntahan lang po yung Luminous by Trixie Cruz Angeles and Amin Paglinawan na page sa aming Facebook, and to follow and like or to comment para para mabalik kami sa mga feeds ng iba or generally. We are extremely throttled. Ang laki po ng difference ngayon. Marami po ang nagre-report na hindi kami nakikita at hindi po sila nakakatanggap ng mga notifications kapag kami ay nagla-live or even kapag kami ay nagpo-post. So request ko lang po, kung maaari, ay mag-like, share, follow, and subscribe. At lalong-lalo na, nakikita ko parang walang lumalabas sa ating YouTube. Nangyari. So, mukhang extremely throttled kami in many platforms na pala. So, hindi ko alam kung sino po yung nagalit namin. Gayon pa man, mukhang effective. But at the same time, hindi po kami talaga nakikita na lately sa iba't ibang mga platforms namin. So ang request lang po namin, huwag pong kakalimutan, mag-follow doon sa aming Facebook page, which is Luminous by Trixie Cruz Angeles and Amin Paglinawan, at doon din po sa aming YouTube channel. So, lalong-lalo na yung mga for those who can see us on Luminous, huwag pong kakalimutan mag-share. Double check ko lang po yung ating yung hindi pa yata po live sa Luminous, yun yung problema. Ayan na, nag-live na po. Live sa Luminous, yun yung problema yun. So, hindi po namin napopost, hindi pa ngayon nakikita yung inyong mga comments dito. Sabi ni RJ Don Bargs, meron siyang binabanggit na nagsasabing nag-train ako sa China. Well, that is part of the proceedings doon po sa Kongreso. So, hindi naman po kami nagsikreto niyan, nakapost yan. At ang training namin is no different than the trainings and tours na ginawa for mainstream media. Hindi lang po kami at nandun ako not just as a vlogger, but also as a host, radio host for DWIZ at the time. Baka niisip ng mga ito, I am limited simply to vlogging on social media, but I have and constantly appear in mainstream media. So para dun sa mga gustong mag-criticize sa amin, supposedly for going to China, pakitignan naman po, hindi lang po kami ang nagpunta, but many mainstream media. Ang mga nasa batch with us included writers from Star and Inquirer. Meron din po kaming mga, in the previous batches, mga taga Daily Tribune, Action 5, ABS-CBN, and others. So kung may issue kayo dun sa pagpunta at pag-training namin sa China, I suppose you must be equal opportunity. Kasi dapat pati yung mga mainstream media na pumunta ay babatikusin nyo rin. Dapat questionin din ninyo. Bakit at mas malaganap at mas malawak ang kanilang reach kaysa dun sa reach namin? So bakit worried sila sa amin? Okay? Now, muli, huwag pong kakalimutan, like, share, follow, and subscribe. So, okay, lalong-lalo na mga doon na nanonood sa ating YouTube, huwag pong kakalimutan Ako ngayon lang po ako nagre-request ng inyong tulong kasi severely throttled na po kami both dito sa live namin at saka sa pag-post namin sa Luminous. Kasi, well, if this continues, then wala rin naman kaming choice. I have better uses for my time. Nag-aaral ako this semester. And in fact, we'll be studying until next year. Ang expected graduation will be next year. So, if it isn't worth it, kasi nga, konti lang yung nare-reach talaga, then we may have to think of doing something else. Okay. Right. Sabi ni Erwin, matagal na kaming OFW pero mahirap pa rin. Tanong ko lang kung pwede bang mag-change career kami from OFW to contractor para isa din kaming maging billionaire. Well, hindi naman po masama mangarap, di ba? So, ngayong araw na ito, teka muna, nasa na yung aking, bakit nawala yung aking presentation? Sandali. Ayun. So, yan. Bago tayo magpatuloy, panoorin po natin muna itong sinabi ng ating Pangulo para mapag-usapan natin.
Meter structure was supposed to begin last February, but when the president visited the area, there was no indication that it even started despite it being marked completed. There were also receipts showing the project was fully paid. The president said because of these fictitious projects, the government would be compelled to file an economic sabotage case against those contractors and individuals involved. Let's hear what he had to say.
Ang report dito, 100% complete at saka fully paid. Wala kaming makita na kahit isang hollow block, isang simento, walang equipment dito. Lahat itong project na ito, ghost project. Walang ginawa na trabaho dito. Ang katakataka, hindi namin mahanap itong kontratang ito. So hinahanap pa rin namin. Pero hindi na namin malaman. Siguro sinab-contract ng gusto. Siguro naka ilang layer ng subcontractor. Kaya hindi wala ng record. This is a perfect example of the abuse that is being done by some of these contractors. And this is not, unfortunately, hindi lang ito na project na ganito. Kailangan pa natin na tignan na mabuti lahat ng mga iba. For the big ones, talagang I'm thinking very hard to pipilaan natin sila na economic sabotage.
The DPWH on Tuesday admitted there were ghost flood control projects and...
Alright. So, 2 beses binanggit dito sa news program na ito na the president intends to file economic sabotage. But what is economic sabotage? So, ano ba ang economic sabotage? Kasi it does sound ambitious. At napansin ko kasi nakaka-score ng puntos ang ating Pangulo by raising this issue of flood control. Tama naman, kailangan nire-raise ang issue na ito. Pero parang pinalalabas na suddenly the president is so proactive. The president is doing the right thing. Siguro nga, it is the right thing. But let us not say na wala siyang liability o exempt siya doon sa pagpapabaya kung bakit umabot sa ganitong punto ang malalaking mga proyekto that has been draining the country of resources na hindi wala naman palang infrastructure or substandard or kokonti ang infrastructure na naipapatayo. So the president is thinking, okay, legal yung iniisip niyang solusyon. Baka mag-file daw ng economic sabotage, which brings to mind, teka muna, under our law, ano po ba ang economic sabotage? Okay, tingnan natin. Ano ang acts o ano ang mga krimen? Kasi walang iisang batas na nagsasabi na ito ang economic sabotage. Pagka sinabi natin na economic sabotage, it is covered by several laws. So ano-ano yung mga batas na yon? Number 1, illegal recruitment in large scale. Okay. Oh, yan. What is illegal recruitment in large scale? Pagka it is committed against 3 or more persons individually or as a group. So I don't think yan ang sinasabi ng presidente. Ano pa? Syndicated printing, manufacture, distribution, possession, or use of fake official Bureau of Land Transportation forms, documents, plates, and sticker. Parang hindi rin po ito. Access device fraud constituting economic sabotage. Ano itong access device fraud? Ito yung skimming, pag pagkopya o pag-counterfeit ng credit card or debit card, pag-obtain ng information with the intent of accessing the account and operating the same. O, kasama dito production and possession of software components such as programs, application, or malware, or any hardware component such as, but not limited to, a skimming device or electronic gadget. So madaling sabi, kapag mayroon kang device na nakakapag-skim o nakakakuha ng impormasyon sa mga credit card ng ibang tao, yan po ay access device fraud. Ano pa? Accessing a bank account or a credit card without authority or ATM card and so on. Yan po ay access device fraud din po siya. And hacking for the purpose of getting information, particularly electronic economic data or electronic documents. So, hindi yata ito ang iniisip ng presidente nung sinabi niya, tinitignan niya yung ghost project at ito daw ay economic sabotage. Financial account scamming. Ano yun? Financial account scamming is, of course, yung paggamit ng financial accounts, paggamit ng mga bank accounts para manloko o paggawa ng accounts para to commit estafa for the purpose of gaining economic advantage over somebody else. Okay. Agricultural smuggling. So, ano yung agricultural smuggling? Pagka importation or bringing in of agriculture and fishery products into the country, or assisting, receiving, concealing, buying, selling, disposing, etc. with full knowledge that they have been fraudulently imported. Ibig sabihin, inismuggle mo, alam mo na sinasmuggle mo yon. Yun lang yun. That's it. Smuggling. Considered economic sabotage siya. Bakit na doble? Agricultural, dapat hoarding. Agricultural hoarding. Ano yung hoarding? Committed by a person or persons having stocks of agricultural and fishery products in excess of 30% of their normal inventory levels. Ito yung sinasabi natin tungkol sa bigas. Pero ito ba ang iniisip ng ating Pangulo? And finally, profiteering. Ito yung pag-jack up ng mga presyo o yung pag-hoard niya para pataasin yung presyo. Ano pa mali. Yan. Engaging in cartel, self-explanatory, economic sabotage din yan. And finally, financial, agricultural, economic sabotage. When a person, directly or indirectly, willfully and without lawful excuse, possesses, provides, collects, etc., property, funds, financial or other related services, or funds the creation of dummy or fictitious entities with the willful intention that they be used for the commission of any of the foregoing agricultural crimes, such as smuggling, hoarding, and so on, and yung pag-jack up ng mga presyo. So, yan po ang crimes ng economic sabotage. So, ano yung sinasabi ng Pangulo? Ang sabi niya, kapag nainis siya, nagagalit na daw siya, kapag siya daw ay nainis, siya po ay magfa-file ng economic sabotage. Doon sa mga batas na binanggit ko, asan doon yung economic sabotage na sinasabi niya patungkol sa mga infrastructure programs or projects ng DPWH? Wala. Ibig sabihin, the president does not know the kind of work that he has to face para maging ma-prevent yung mga ganitong klaseng ghost projects. Kailangan gawin niyang economic sabotage as a crime. Yung corruption dito sa massive corruption dito sa infrastructure projects. Is it a crime right now? No, it is not. In fact, the president thought it is. Actually, what it is, it could possibly be, is violation ng Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, malversation, misfeasance, nonfeasance, malfeasance, yung mga ganyan. And of course, plunder, kung aabot dun sa amount. So, ano ang sinasabi ng presidente? Galit daw siya pero gusto niya, i-economic sabotage na ito. It means na kailangan pang magpasa ng batas ang ating Kongreso para para umabot dun sa punto na commensurate yung penalty dito sa crime na sinasabi niya. Pero hindi ba pag plunder wala na ngang bail at saka life imprisonment na? So mayroon naman mga batas, but the president is not aware of the existing laws. He's not aware of the laws that he can already use. Ang pwede lang niyang sabihin is economic sabotage because like many others, he does not know na limited lang po ang acts that are covered under economic sabotage. So, what does this mean? It means that the president, again, is role-playing. He is playing the righteous, indignant president who suddenly discovered na may mga ganitong mga proyekto under his watch. And that's the danger. This is under his watch. And this happened when he ought to have had full knowledge. Pansinin ninyo, although yun na nga, nagkakaroon na tayo ng Senate investigation on these possibly ghost projects, on these extremely possibly graph-riddled projects, nobody is pointing a finger at the DPWH secretary. Bakit hindi although napaparinggan na siya nadidetect na natin na pinaparinggan na rin siya ni Senator Marcoleta and possibly ito na sina Senator Jinggoy and so on. Pero hindi pa talaga. Parang ang lumalabas is that nobody yet is holding the DPWH secretary to at the very least have been on top of this. Ang mga sagot ng DPWH secretary, ni Sec Bonoan, all throughout the Senate hearing is sinusunod lang daw nila ang batas. Sinusunod lang daw nila ang nakasulat sa GAA na kung may nakalaan na pera para sa mga proyektong ito, gagawin nila yung mga proyekto na yun. Oh, right. Okay. So, pero without relying or making reference to the national plan on flood control, without even fighting for that national plan, without any active support for a solution that will fix this once and for all, or at least mitigate it to the point na at least hindi naman sana tayo namamatayan na. Okay? Unfortunately, yun na nga, yan po pa rin ang nangyayari because the DPWH, like it or not, sila po ang pumapayag doon sa mga insertions kaliwat kanan made by politicians na syempre nakatutok sila sa kani-kanilang mga distrito, sa kani-kanilang mga agenda na kailangan may mga ganitong mga proyekto na maipatuloy sila even without the possibility of graft. Sabihin na natin na wala silang nakukuha sa mga ganon. Ang pinaglalaban ng mga politiko, of course, is for certain areas to get these projects. Never mind kung walang flood talaga, walang flooding doon sa areas na yon. Ang importante sa kanila ay may lumabas na mga proyekto doon. Now, syempre, mayroon din mga nagbe-benefit, possibly criminally benefit from these projects. But the point here is that it cannot be overlooked that not only is the president clueless about what he can do here, he's play acting. Because if he really were serious about flood control, the first person na dapat pinagalitan niya ay ang DPWH secretary. But of course, hindi niya ginagawa yon. Every time we look closely at what the president says, every time that we look again, tinitignan natin kung ano ang sinasabi ng DPWH secretary dito, the more we are left with questions. Ano ba talaga ang intention dito? We get it, political pogi points are necessary for their political survival. And of course, napag-iiwanan na sa trust and approval ratings si Pangulong Marcos. Ang hirap humabol kay VP Inday. Kaya tignan ninyo, talunan na naman yung mga kongresista trying to make it appear that useless si VP Inday daw sa DepEd, although the teachers say otherwise. Everybody is still trying to get a piece of VP Inday, and at the same time, nanliligaw sila ng DDS votes by bringing to fore the flood control projects. Ang napapahiya lang naman dito yung mga kongresista na may link sa mga kontratista. So again, we have to look at this as more of a communication solution for the president. Does he really intend to get to the bottom of this? Maybe. Is he spurred on by political survival? Most likely. Pero I cannot for the life of me give him all of the credit or give him much credit because the reason this got so out of hand was because he did not bother to check his own people. And to this day, he is still not checking his own people, particularly his DPWH secretary. Anong nangyayari? A lot of the communications are towards Congress. O bakit sa Congress? Bakit sa House of Representatives? Totoo naman na allegedly may mga kongresista with links to these contractors. Totoo naman po, posibleng malaki po ang number of congressmen who do have these links to these contractors. But is it just that? Why was there a limited list that was brought out? Who are in the remaining list? And why did they have to lie? Ang sabi nila, 15 contractors lang for 100 billion worth of projects, which isn't true. Kasi base dun sa sumbong sa Pangulo na site, 71 billion lang po yung 15 contractors na yon. They are hiding something. So it's not 20%. but they had overblown it. Why do they need to overblow the amount? Malaki nga ang 71 billion, totoo yan. Pero it is not 100 billion. So why the need na palakihin yung yung amount supposedly that had gone to these 15 contractors? Something is off. They're very desperately looking for our approval kasi, ayan, the president may nilalaglag siya. And of course, it isn't a coincidence na ang mga nilalaglag niya ay mga tao ng pinsan niya. Hindi niya mga tao yung mga yan. Hindi, these people have in fact, in some instances, shown hostility to the president's men, such as during appropriations hearings, such as dito, maliwanag that Congressman Toby Tiangco is not getting the cooperation that he needs para maimbestigahan ang ilang mga proyekto na ito. He is not getting the records of the small committee. Kailangan pa niyang hingin yan. And kailangan pa niyang ipalabas na, why are you not giving me the records? Do these records exist? Parang hindi, di ba? So, again, something is off. We're glad that we have contractors who are going to be set out to dry. But why go after just a few? Why not go after everybody else? Why are we choosing? Now, may mga magsasabi ngayon, nilabas naman daw ni Senator Lacson. That is my point and that underscores it. Si Senator Lacson ang naglalabas. Why didn't the president do that? Why are they avoiding this? For plausible deniability? Are these people their contributors also? Kasi ang lumalabas dito ay mayroon din silang mga pinupuntirya. Nakita na natin, si Senator Cheese, ang unang-unang naisangkalan dyan. Di ba? Hindi yan coincidence that Senator Cheese came out with a very effective speech in explaining his vote sa impeachment. So hindi tayo nagtataka kung bakit nauna siya. Pero hindi ako nagdududa na mayroong iba dyan na mailalaglag because it's more convenient for the faction of the president na ilaglag yung mga yan. After all, yung mga nakadikit kay presidente, safe sila. Hindi sila ilalaglag and they're probably involved in other kinds of projects. Take note dun sa 15, hindi niyo ba napansin? At ako, I'm picking up this vibe. Doon sa itong mga kontratistang ito, single proprietorship? Itong ganito, hindi naman kilala itong construction company na ito eh. Sino ba yung mga yan? They're not the major ones, di ba? To borrow a phrase. Hindi ito yung mga kilala na AAA or whatever number of A's na construction companies. Hindi. So I detect some kind of condescension. Sino ba itong mga hampas lupang kontratista na ito na biglang yaman? Di ba yan ang naratiba po ngayon? Parang dati, lang kayo, pipitsugin kayo, ngayon biglang yaman kayo. Tama naman yun, totoo yun. But none of the majors are going to get hit here. Or at least none of those who have direct links to the president na nakikita natin. Sabi ni Marlinda, hindi ba galing sa Duterte admin ng mga korap na yan? Excuse me, yung bulk na nakuha ng SunWest ay dito sa administrasyon na ito. Di ba? Kinasuhan nga ang SunWest under the Duterte admin. O baka nakalimutan ninyo? Sabi ni Truth, ibabato pala yung issue sa oposisyon. We cannot escape that possibility. We cannot stop thinking that they will first, kumbaga, yung una nilang isasangkalan o una nilang ilalaglag ay yung mga nandun sa dating admin. And nakikita na po natin na nangyayari yan. Of course, they don't want to do this na sobrang obvious. Magaling ang bagong Comm Secretary ni BBM. Hindi masyadong halata. Pero yan po ang mga lumalabas na issues ngayon, na emerging issues. And by the way, yung mga nagsasabing hindi ba sa Duterte admin yung lumabas ang mga yan? Sure, you can say that. We don't mind. Laglag din sila. Kung sila po ay kumita in the Duterte administration, edi ilaglag pa rin, isama talaga yan, walang problema. Pero wag nating kakalimutan na si Pangulong Marcos bears liability for those that were given contracts in this administration. Kung meron sa ibang administrasyon, by all means, idamay natin lahat. Let's go back as many years as possible, as long as hindi pa na prescribe yung crime. Sure, why not? Di ba? Kailangan ba natin sabihin na walang kasalanan yung ibang mga kontratista? Hindi. Kung may ebidensya, by all means, idamay yan. Pero hindi pwedeng sila lang. Hindi pwedeng hindi natin idadama yung mga kumita under this administration. Yung mga nag-ghost projects under this administration. Kung meron dun sa dati, of course, isama lahat yan. Bakit hindi? Bakit may nakikita akong luminous na may red background sa dragon? Yan po yung nasa, merong ginawang ganun si Ahmed eh. I don't know what you're referring to, kung sa Facebook yan or sa ano. So, baka ito yan sa ating current na Facebook. So, double check ko. Black na po yung background ng ano namin as of right now. Sabi ni Independencio, skimming yung license ng isang contractor at pinagamit niya sa iba ng mali. Tapos recruitment dahil daming unlicensed contractors na pumapasok dyan sa flood control projects. Contact ng new contractor at mga family or relatives at di ba ito part ng... Sir naman, can you use periods? Nahirapan ako sa mga run-on sentences ninyo eh. I repeat, he says one thing and does another thing. Tama si VP Sara na wala siyang alam o hindi marunong magpatakbo ng isang gobyerno. Very dangerous ngayon ito na expose ng Pangulo mismo dahil highly organized syndicate ito ng gobyerno. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. So request ko lang po, can we use punctuation marks? Sabi ni Franz, mali-mali nga ang sagot sa pabalik-balik na tanong ni Marcoleta sa DPWH Secretary. Napakalutang. Dapat number 1 siyang mananagot dahil ground zero sa corruption ang ahensya niya. At least administratively, oo. Sabi ni Ray, di mangyayari ang korupsyon kung walang connivan sa mga DPWH. John Carlos says, during the years of President Duterte 2016 to 2022, the effectiveness of flood control projects presented a mixed picture. Despite the government's significant financial allocations towards this effort, AI ito. Persistent flooding revealed, Okay, ganitong problema ko dun sa paggagamitin nyo yung AI sa pag-evaluate ng ganito. Talo tayo sa mainstream. A lot of these AI essays, kumbaga, will rely on mainstream. Kadamihan nga ng mainstream, kalaban na kaagad. So, that is the problem. That's what we've been saying all the time. And please, utang na loob, ang haba naman ng email. Why did you post an entire article in the comment section? Walang intention? Okay. Sabi ni Claire Sunwest, Saldico, backed up Nino nung speaker, yan po ang lumalabas. Sunwest, of course, has remained active, although to be fair kay Congressman Saldico, siya po ay nag-divest. Hindi natin alam kung sinong kapamilya niya ang nagpapatakbo niyan ngayon. Nevertheless, kasama sa 15 na kontratista ang Sunwest, yung construction. Sabi ni Relian, yun pala yung kay Ahmed pala yung red background. Sabi ni Relin, kung di pa nabago ang mga nakapwesto sa 20th Congress, doon lang na alarma sa flood control niya. Sus Maria. Sabi ni Truth Matters, ibabato pala yung issue sa oposisyon. Sabi ni Tin, si BBM parang makapili, turo lang ng turo, walang sense of responsibility. Sabi ni Botcho, dapat i-hold yung mga contractor at congressman, DPWH, and bawal lumabas sa bansa. Yes, unfortunately, ang hold departure order can only be obtained from a judge. So, kailangan may hearings na sa hukuman. Sabi ni Ms. Tin, how I wish marindi si Bunoan dahil sa kanya lahat ng sisi at ibulgar na niya lahat. Dahil for sure, alam niya lahat yan. Or at least, ilabas niya yung mga alam niya. Sherwin is watching from Antique. Melvs is what? Hi kay Melvs. Okay. Hindi po yun. Hi kay Miss Eri. Magandang gabi. Sabi ni Ramil, na-alarm kasi ako. At least, relieved and safe po. Na yung may red background, ikaw ba yung nagtanong nun? Si Ahmed po yun. Sabi ni Joy, okay yung caption mo, the president sabotaged himself. The president, when he opens his mouth, has a problem. He doesn't, nagsasalita siya, nagpapa-interview siya, which of course is good. No? Dapat nga naririnig natin ang Pangulo. But the problem is that he is not prepared. Yan, sasabihin niya, dapat mag-file ng economic sabotage. Okay, Mr. President, patrabahuhin niyo na yung mga liaison people ninyo with the House of Representatives and the Senate Kasi kailangan ng bagong batas para makover itong mga infrastructure projects. Ako, tama yun actually, dapat gawing economic sabotage yan. Kasi bilyon-bilyon yung nawawala sa atin when it comes to these kinds of contracts. Di ba, ang hirap habulin kapag sobrang yaman naman ng mga inaaway natin, di ba? Hindi niyo ba napansin? Marami may iba nga natatakot silang kasuhan yung mga yan dahil sobrang yaman. Sabi ni JR, mas maganda magdagdag ng engineer sa COA para ma-audit lahat ng flood control projects. This is actually, I think, a very good idea para naiintindihan yung mga proyekto. Although, ang tingin ko, in general, okay naman ang COA. It's really the corruption na kalaban natin. So, pag kunwari, kahit engineer yan, kung malalagyan naman siya para i-clear niya yung proyekto, edi ganun din. So ulitin ko ha, if you want to post something that you got from AI in the comment section, number 1, wag nyo kaming i-flat. Number 2, wag masyadong mahaba. And number 3, alam namin na AI yan. And the problem with AI is it is almost automatically anti-Duterte kasi nagre-rely sila on mainstream media. Hindi naman binabasa ng AI yung social media posts eh. So automatically, kahit ano pang i-input nyo dyan, it will almost always be anti-Duterte unless your prompt compels them to be more objective. Uy, may mga nang-iintriga, black ka. Bigero ka eh. Mga magsasabi na hindi ka tunay na Duterte, nyek. Sabi ni Tin, sabi nga ni Sir Byron, nakalimutan ni BBM na siya ang Pangulo nung nagre-reklamo siya sa Ghost Project. I agree with that sentiment. Ultimately, he is responsible. Nangyari yan, imposibleng nangyayari lang yan na yung house lang ang may issue because of the alleged connection between contractors and some of the congressmen, or that some of the congressmen's families actually own the construction companies. But the participation of the DPWH indicates na mas malaki yung role ng executive. So, pag sinasabi ng presidente, ang lala pala, bakit umabot sa ganito? Ang tanong, bakit umabot nga sa ganito? Eh, ikaw ang presidente. Hi kay Dalal, kay Miss Josephine. Sabi ni Sir Rafi Ongo, I don't know if I'm being culturally insensitive, but I just find it shallow hearing about some Muslim congressmen taking offense on Magalong calling the planned HOR investigation on flood control projects moro-moro, but has no comment on the main issue. I mean, crooks stealing billions of people's money is even beyond offensive. I think that's a good point. See, but maybe we can always say, all right, let's not call it that. Let's call it, budol. Panibagong pambubudol. Maraming matatamaan yan, sigurado. Sabi ni Miss Harriet, he's not thinking straight. Sabi ni Miss Marlene, parang hindi po yata niya pinag-iisipan yung mga pinagsasabi niya. Alam mo, yung parang kakilala mo lang na bida-bida. Sabi ni Ma'am Marilu, busy kasi sila, attorney. Paano pa babagsakin ang mga Duterte? Meron din ganon. Admittedly, di ba, meron talaga. Sabi ni Botchog, sinabi ni Ma'am Clarita, basta it is all God's will. Sabi ni Shira, last year pa si BBM na fact-check ng kalikasan. Bakit di niya pinaimbestigahan agad? Instead, hinanapan pa niya ng mga lame excuses. Yun na nga eh. Tapos, nung humingi siya ng report, nabigyan siya ng report in 1 week? Kaya pala ng madalian na mag-report ang DPWH tungkol sa mga possibly anomalous projects. He didn't do it last year. Kasi iniisip ko, baka gawin niyang excuse, pinag-aaralan nila. So, ito 1 year later, matapos na yung pag-aaral. Yung pala, 1 linggo lang or something like that. Sabi ni Planetang Talim, playing safe tong si B eh. Akala mo di siya kasama sa problema. Ayun na nga. And sabi ni Edward, I still cannot believe that the president did not know these anomalies from the get-go. He's the president. He should be in control of all the agencies. That is correct. The problem really is leadership. sa madaling sabi, he's not an effective leader. Di ba? Nasaan yung follow-up? Nasaan yung mga patawag si ano? Well, ano na yung mga natapos? Ano yung matatapos within this month? Did he even bother to have goal settings? Now, I don't personally like the Ramos administration. Pero nakikita mo na pagka-military yung background, meron kang team building, meron kang ganito. So meron kayong goal setting. I mean, I'm not saying that it was effective under the Ramos admin, but what I did see was at the start of his presidency, it was important to lay out the plans. Whether natupad yung mga plano na yon, di ko pa sure. Pero, hindi ba dapat ganon? Dapat may roadmap. In fact, the president should have been the one to set the roadmap. O, mga agencies. Ito, sabi ni MJ, dapat command responsibility. Totoo. Sasabihin dapat ni presidente, o mga ahensya, aka na mga programa ninyo, mga plano ninyo for the year, tapos cabinet meeting, iset natin ano ang vision natin. By the end of the 6-year term, ano ang dapat na accomplish natin. Walang ganon. Kasi, ano ang unang ginawa? Sabi ng Pangulo, iikot siya at magpapakilala siya sa ibang mga foreign leaders at maghihikayat siya ng foreign direct investments. Gets ko yan. Tama yan siguro. At least yung part ng FDI. Pero ano nangyari? After 2 years na biyahero siya, ano ang maipapakita? Nung una nag-a-attempt silang sabihin na, mayroong at least one doon sa mga pledges ng FDI, baka mag-groundbreaking na daw in so many months. Tapos naglaho na yung proyekto na yon. Ganyan ang characteristic ng Marcos administration. Ang galing mag-press release sa umpisa, tapos they are counting on our short memories na para makalusot na lang sila. Ay nako.